So you clicked on this video because either you're A, deep in the weeds of mountain bike brake land, or B, you're about to go deep in the weeds of mountain bike brake land. Today in this video, I'm going to review and talk about the BR MT420s from Shimano. So on this bike, this is a Norco Torrent S2. This is my son's brand new bike. And on this bike came stock with Shimano BR MT420 4-piston brakes. So these brakes are the lowest tier 4-piston brakes that Shimano makes. Above these brakes you have 520s. Then you have the youre line, which is 6120. These are all 4-piston. Then you have the SLX 7120. Then the 8120 from XT, and then XTR brakes. Then you can go into Saints and Z, but Saints and Z are mostly for downhill applications. So these brakes, being the lowest tier, the MT420s, the lowest tier 4-piston brakes, these are so good, these brakes. It's insane. So diving into some research that I've done, the 420s are, they say it provides 90% stopping power compared to the 520s, so 10% less compared to the 520s. On Shimano's website, it says that you get 20% more stopping power with these brakes compared to the MT400s, which are 2-piston brakes, which are basically in line with the MT201s, which are also 2-piston brakes. Now, the MT201s, this is a lot of numbers, I know, but the MT201s is what comes stock on most bikes. I've seen those brakes come stock on anywhere from $2,000 entry-level hardtails all the way up to like $4,000, $5,000 full suspension bikes. Let's say, for example, you're just looking to upgrade your 2-piston Shimano MT201 or any other kind of 2-piston braking system that you currently have to a 4-piston brake or something that's a little bit more powerful that's still 2-piston. Well, you should definitely give these brakes a look. These brake calipers have a direct entry into the caliper, meaning that it does not have a banjo connection for the hydraulic brake hose at the caliper, which is no big deal. The only benefit a banjo connection gives you is forward and rearward adjustability at the caliper. So let's say you're putting a rear brake caliper on your bike, and the hose comes out straight, but you want it up or down at an angle. You have that ability. With these brakes, with the non-banjo brake caliper, you do not have that ability. However, in saying that, it's just a small thing. The banjo connection just helps you streamline your cabling. Honestly, if the banjo connection never existed, it just wouldn't exist and everything would be fine. These calipers came with resin pads, okay? So there are resin pads in these calipers. Now let's talk about the brake hose. So the brake hose on the 420 brake set uses a BH90 hose. It's the hose that the SLX and up uses. To have the BH90 hose on the 420 brake set, which is their lowest tier, is actually so good. It's so good. You are able to swap out your levers. So you can still use the same calipers, but you can put the SLX XT lever on if you so desire. So that brings me to the levers. The levers that come with this brake set, they are 2-finger. Okay, they are considered 2-finger. With the MT201, they are 3-finger. And with the SLX, they're even considered 2-finger, but I would more put them in the 1-finger category. Same with the XT and the XTR. The 520s are also 2-finger. So You can set them up like my son has, so that he only needs one finger to operate the braking system. So the 420 brake system is actually compatible with interchanging the levers. He originally wanted the SLX levers on here, but I said to him, well, why don't you just ride it for the rest of the season? And if you decide in the spring you want the SLX levers on, then you can have them. And I'll tell you why you might want to do something like that. You definitely don't need to. These brakes are absolutely perfect. They're fine the way they are. But the reason why you would want to possibly put an XT or an SLX lever on here is because of the servo wave action in the lever. So that just gives you better braking modulation. From the experience that I have with my SLX 4-piston. So these brakes are pretty on and off feeling. You really have to feather and modulate the braking system on your own using your fingers.
Oh my god!
So obviously the more pressure you put on, the more braking power is going to be applied to the brakes. Without the servo wave, you really have to do that on your own. So these are an on-off feeling. They do have a light braking action feel. They're much lighter than my SLX in feel. But I gotta say, for the money, just before making this video, I looked up the MT420 brake sets for price, and I was looking to see if I can get the best price possible. And the best price possible on a front brake, which includes the lever, the hose, and the caliper, and the brake pads, is $99 on sale right now. The rear is $109 on sale right now. So out the door, you could be less than $250 for a 4-piston brake set from Shimano. Like, that's insane. I ride SLX 4-piston, the MT7120s, on my Hanzo, and those brakes are very powerful. And because of the servo wave and modulation in the 4-piston SLX brakes, they're very, like, they're not on off. They're very modulated. These ones I got on and I almost went OTB because what the heck, man? There's so much power in these brakes. Granted, they are paired with a 203 rotor in the front on this bike and a 180 rotor in the back. So that's a big front end rotor. So these brakes, they do not need a heating up period like mine do. Because I have those finned metal Shimano pads in my calipers right now, they need to be pretty warm to be most effective. These, right out of the gate, you can go OTB if you want to, or if you're not careful. They are extremely powerful. They are worth every penny for how much they are. They provide so much value, and the quality is bang on. The only reason why I would suggest going with a 520 is because you get a little bit of the servo wave action, and you get a little bit bigger of a adjustment bolt for your free stroke. That's it. You cannot go wrong with these brakes. If you're looking for a brake upgrade, and never mind going down the whole rabbit hole thing of should I get 2-piston or 4-piston, right now you'd be crazy not to go with 4-piston with these brakes specifically at that price. It's insane. They're bomb proof, they work, they're extremely reliable. Shimano brakes are notoriously easy to bleed, and I mean, all I ever do with mine is gravity bleed them, and they're perfect. Every time, they're perfect. So, kind of the unsung heroes of the braking world are these MT420 4-piston entry-level brakes from Shimano. You cannot go wrong.